Hey everyone, welcome to Jojo's World.
Good morning, good evening, and good morning.
And good morning, podcast.
It's time for another vocal barrage of jokes and or just conversational pieces.
That's right, our conversational stylings will punch you in the face so hard you won't even know what to do with yourself. You'll drown in your own podcast. I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts, peoples.
This is Jojo's World, our Jojo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, where today we are recapping and discussing the 17th episode of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. That's part 6, baby.
Are we high right now? Is that what's happening?
No, I am doing my radio voice.
Is this your radio voice? Coming to you live from a helicopter?
Yep. Traffic is backed up all the way up the Graham Farmer Freeway.
Oh god, that is going to land with like 4 people.
Yeah, it's narrow casting like we've never done before. This episode, Stone Ocean, episode 17, Enter the Dragon's Dream.
It makes no sense, but go on.
Covers chapters 66 or 660, depending on how you slice it.
Okay.
Through 71 or 665, also depending on how you slice it.
Ooh, that is a great number of chapters.
It's true, we are progressing through the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure at an as-yet unprecedented rate.
Who knows how far it will be until we reach the end?
Nobody knows how far it will be.
Until we reach the end?
Yeah, that's what Death Stranding taught us. Death Stranding 2, coming soon, as announced at the Game Awards this week.
I am excited.
I know at least one of our listeners who will be disinterested through to actively disappointed at this announcement.
Will they just be sitting there going, you fucking it, why are you excited for this? Get out of here!
You see, I heard that Hideo Kojima rewrote the planned script for Death Stranding 2 in the wake of the novel coronavirus.
Oh, God.
Because it was too depressing.
Oh, God. Is that true?
So I heard.
Oh, no. Was it originally just meant to be about people dying from a virus?
Well, you remember how the first game was,
It hit a little hard.
which came out, 3 to 6 months before the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
Was all about people isolating in their homes and being afraid to make physical contact. Mm-hmm. Themes.
And now he's like, maybe I should make it happier.
I doubt it based on the trailer, but
Well, happier-ish,
we just don't know.
We literally
You
cannot
are
say.
literally pulling that out of your ass.
I know, but based on wild speculation, I feel like what it's going to be is a bit happier.
Okay, let's see how that works out for you.
Look, if I have anything to go off, which is pure conjecture.
Which is purely the trailer underscored by a melancholy reimagining of the main theme from the first game.
I think it's probably going to be happier. I dare say, there's only 2 ways it can go, and I think happier is one of them.
Nick, we have 2 pieces of listener correspondence via the Twitter that I want to share with you from last episode.
You can try.
The first comes from Lieutenant Skell, who has commentary, a bit of trivia that I think I knew but forgot about last week's stand,
Okay.
Planet Waves. Something I'm surprised you guys didn't mention. In the original Shonen Jump run of Stone Ocean, Planet Waves was originally named Earth, Wind and Fire, which you may remember was also Mikitaka's stand, the alien from Part 4.
The alien from Part 4. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I forget if it was named in the manga, but either way, Westwoods was revised later on.
Is this just because they were like, you do realise
You've already named something.
you've already
Earth,
named
Wind,
something
and Fire.
Earth, Wind and Fire? And then Araki was like, no, that's impossible. I would remember.
Well, he did it. I guess for once the meme held true. Araki forgot. But then he remembered.
Yeah. And he decided, what?
And secondly, Garmore of the 6 Excels
What?
has this to say.
What? Garmore?
'Tis I, Garmore of the 6 Excels. I'm here to pilot the Gundam against the forces of the Terror Federation.
Get in your angel. Not that angel, they're the bad ones. I've just remembered the point is that they're angels. Anyway, get in your big mech.
Bad angels? No, Nick, angels are good.
Get in the mech, 6 Excels.
6 Excels saga. Anyway, has this to say. Big fan of Nick going, they listed so many stats for that meteorite. That's gonna kill her. Because that's how Jojo feels. The more information a narrator tells you, the more dangerous the situation is. And boy, do we have a lot of information from narrators this week.
Oh my god.
Now, for once, those narrators are in-universe.
Yeah.
But there are just a lot of people standing around being like, this is why this guy's so dangerous.
So to be fair, if it's not the narrator who's doing it, Does it hold any
That's
threat
true.
whatsoever?
Anna Sui is nothing if not an unreliable narrator.
Exactly. I mean, Jolene is just there having a great time, you know? This is just a normal day for Jolene, being like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is going on?
Yeah.
But the narrator, he knows.
He knows.
Then he knows.
He knows that those fingers have a grip pressure of 200 kilograms per square centimeter or whatever.
I mean, it's common knowledge, but we need someone to say it.
He knows that fighting ribs are also known as bone blades or whatever.
Is Bone Blades the spin-off of Beyblades?
Yeah, it's the prehistoric, it's the Flintstone era precursor.
But how did you make them spin? Well, you took your hand off and used that to spin instead.
Yeah, and they famously said let it rip because they ripped their own hands off.
Exactly. And then when the dragon comes out of it, they're like, oh, that's just a lot of blood.
And the dragon's like, it's a living.
And they're like, wait, how's the blood talking? Oh, wait, it's a hallucination because I ripped my own hand off.
Because of those mushrooms that I ate shortly before this whole encounter. Why, a show would never do this whole fight for the last episode and a half was just a dream or hallucination.
Never.
No, let's talk about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Here we go, baby.
Nick.
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon's Dream.
So I know this reference.
Tell me.
Enter the Dragon.
No, but okay.
What do you mean, no? What?
That's not what we're doing.
What do you mean?
We do music.
Yeah, I know, but...
And fashion lately.
Yeah, but what if it's still a reference to Enter the Dragon?
I mean, there's nothing to say it can't be, but it's also a reference to the Arcady Shilklopa song Dragon's Dream, Roger Dean's company, and possibly the musical Drake's Dream. Now, 2 out of 3 of those don't have any links on the JoJo wiki, so I'm skeptical, but it could be Enter the Dragon.
I mean, look, Enter the Dragon makes sense because it's all about, like, feng shui, and there was a whole thing...
spoilers.
Oh, sorry. We're only in the next batch already.
Yeah, the next and final batch of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean has released.
And let me tell you.
You heard it here last, folks.
It's pretty good.
You don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You don't know.
I can't personally verify, but I can have an opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Well, since you've raised it, Nick, let's talk about the JoJo Valet commentary for the stand Dragon's Dream.
I swear, if this has...
I was watching a Bruce Lee movie, and I thought, what if I did something like that, but not at all like that?
What if I took the concept of Bruce Lee fighting and turned it into a man who drinks his own piss and uses feng shui? It was my greatest moment.
I want to double check the pronunciation of feng shui as well.
I know it's feng, but I don't know about shui.
I know that there's a good tabletop RPG called Feng Shui, and they definitely pronounce it like that, even if that's wrong, because it's like about sort of...
Those old school movies?
Martial arts movies,
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure there was a guy who was named Feng on Are You the One? The incredibly...
You mean If You Are the One?
Yeah, If You Are the One. The incredibly viral Chinese dating show, which was, I think, 16 women judging one man.
I think it was like 50.
No, it wasn't 50.
It was a large...
It was a large number.
There was like rapid elimination.
Oh, yeah.
To start it off.
It was like literally you see him and then it's like 20 of them say no. It was a damn good show. It was an incredible show. I'd say it's a 10 out of 10 show.
Feng Shui.
Oh, fuck.
US pronunciation, Feng Shui.
Oh, we're both racist.
Feng Shui.
Oh, no, we're not.
Sorry, UK pronunciation, Feng Shui. US pronunciation, Feng Shui. I notice neither of those are Chinese.
So hang on. No matter which way we pronounce it, we're still maybe right, but also wrong.
There's just no way to know.
Feng Shui or Feng Shui.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Feng Shui or Feng Shui.
We can never be wrong.
Listen.
There are just too many options.
Get it? Too many?
I don't.
Because there's two ways of saying it. There's the US way and the UK way, neither of which are Chinese. But you say it that way.
You do say it that way,
Yeah.
It's true. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, the JoJo Valet commentary.
Not Mandarin, not Cantonese, just JoJo's, baby.
The stand is ultimately neutral, and always speaks the truth. Feng Shui was a big thing at the time I was writing this. You'd see it on TV and stuff. As for myself, I'm only superstitious at most. I don't believe in Feng Shui.
What does that have to fucking do with anything?
That's what the stand's about.
I know, but like he doesn't explain. So you know how most of them are like, his appearance is reminiscent of this.
Yeah. I watched a...
Where does the dragon come in?
No, that's feng shui stuff. That's like all about dragons moving around.
Is it?
Yeah.
What? I thought it was just energy and just chill vibes. You know, put your trees over there because they'll help you feel better.
They'll bring you wealth.
Yeah, and it's like the energy will not be blocked if you put a tree there because it's natural. And it will move the energy around you. And you'll be like, ooh yeah, aesthetic.
I once heard someone reductively describe feng shui as how a dragon would move around the building, but I don't think that's true.
I mean, who knows at this point?
Feng shui, sometimes called Chinese geomancy, is an ancient Chinese traditional practice which claims to use energy forces to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment. The term feng shui means literally wind-water, i.e. fluid. From ancient times, landscapes and bodies of water were thought to direct the flow of the universal qi? QI?
Yeah, key.
Not chi? Okay.
No, never. Well, maybe, I'm not sure.
We just don't know.
Impossible
and
to
we're
say.
not going to look it up.
There's no way of being racist on this show.
Certainly, we didn't bother to look up how to pronounce various Hebrew characters when we were talking about Golomancy.
And I mean, that would have been far, far worse.
The universal cosmic current or energy through places and structures. Because it has the same patterns as wind and water, a specialist who understands them can affect these flows to improve wealth, happiness, long life, and family. On the other hand, the wrong flow brings bad results.
You gotta have the right flow.
More broadly, it includes astronomical, astrological, architectural, cosmological, geographical, and topographical dimensions.
Topographical dimensions?
Sure.
Weird. Anyway, it's a thing.
It sure is.
It was all over the place in like the 90s, I think?
Yeah, I remember it coming up in Australian sitcom Kath and Kim.
Yeah, very briefly. It had like a heyday and then kind of went away. And...
All I know is that sitting or lying with your feet facing a door is known as the dead man's position.
So, given that I lie down in my bed every night in front of a door, am I going to die?
We're all going to die, Nick.
Oh, no.
That's what Death Stranding taught us.
Ah, okay.
The only thing we can do is try to find meaning and connections before we go.
Oh.
And then pass that meaning on to the people who follow us, for as long as they do. For they too shall die.
But that takes so much effort. Yeah.
You see, when I went to the Iraq War, I became like a cliff.
Wait, what?
Where...
Alright, Unga, listen here, you little shit.
That's just the plot of Death Stranding, baby.
I cannot...
Everyone has incredibly literal names, and they all explain them to you at great length.
I cannot get past Deadman's explanation of being like, you know why they call me Deadman? Because I'm a dead man. And you're like, please tell me that's not... Why?
And then he later tells you he was making it up.
Wait, what do you mean he made it up?
He's not Frankenstein's monster.
What are you talking about? Then what is he?
He's just a guy.
Why is he called Deadman then?
Gotta be called something. Die Hardman was taken.
That's true. Wait, why was he called Die Hardman?
Because he died hard. Cliff saved him.
True. But he's still alive.
Yes.
Was it hard to die?
It sure was in the Iraq War.
Oh, Kojima.
Historically, as well as in many places of contemporary Chinese society, feng shui was used to orient buildings and spiritually significant structures, such as tombs, as well as dwellings and other structures. One scholar writes that in contemporary Western societies, however, feng shui tends to be reduced to interior design for health and wealth. As it has become increasingly visible through, quote, feng shui consultants and corporate architects who charge large sums of money for their analysis, advice, and design. Capitalism subsumes all.
Yup. Hey, Liam.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about feng shui?
Because that's what this episode and stand battle is all about, Nick. Not all about, but mostly about.
But mostly.
It's also about delicious piss.
Sorry, it's not delicious. It's therapeutic.
That's why Giorno Giovanna was so long-lived, because he drank all that piss at the start of part 5.
Have you ever heard of urine therapy?
Yes, it's when someone pees in your teacup and you turn your tooth into a jellyfish to absorb it so you don't have to drink it.
What?
That's Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, baby.
That it is. I forgot he turned it into something so he didn't have to drink it.
So we opened the episode at last, and there is a very prolonged Netflix previously on recap for our benefit, in which every line of dialogue is like, "There's the guy with the bone. Where's the bone?
Do I have to get the bone?
My friend Dio's bone. I've sent assassins to retrieve the bone.
Where's the bone, old man?
Jolene's gone to the punishment ward to get the bone."
Oh, I have to hurry, otherwise someone else will get the bone.
Everyone's talking about the bone.
Dio's bone.
Dio's bone. His
Dio's
only bone left.
There's literally like 12 times where they say Dio's bone.
Dio's bone.
And maybe like 10 times they say the bone.
The bone.
Like, surely when they were watching it, they're like, yeah, that'll do. I think they'll get the idea. of what
everyone
we're
just wants this fucking bone. I don't give a shit.
I was like, is this what Hitchcock warns us about when he said, oh, the MacGuffin's a bad device because it just takes
Is that a
up
thing
everything?
Hitchcock said?
Yeah, because Hitchcock was like, I hate the MacGuffin as a literary device.
I feel like MacGuffin is a more recent bit of terminology than Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock was like, I don't like the MacGuffin as a literary device because the characters care about it a lot, but you, the audience, don't give a shit. So he never liked it as a device.
There you go. The term was originated by Angus MacPhail for film and adopted by Alfred Hitchcock.
Bam. So he hated it. He hated it because it was like, it's just lazy and bad writing. You can, like, make it if you want, and it'll work, but the audience won't connect with it, man.
And yet, Nick, filmsite.org tells us, the famed director Alfred Hitchcock often capitalised on a gimmicky plot element to catch the viewer's attention or serve as a distraction.
Oh, yeah. He still hated it.
I hate what I use.
Listen, I'm a filmmaker. I understand my own constraints. Then why do you keep doing it?
It's easy. Gotta get paid.
Yeah, you know how it is.
What was the MacGuffin in Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds?
Was it one of the birds?
Sure.
I gotta get the birds. Whose birds? Their birds.
What was the MacGuffin in Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca?
Was it Rebecca?
Kind of.
I need to get Rebecca. Who's Rebecca? Rebecca!
Director and producer Alfred Hitchcock popularized the term MacGuffin and the technique in his 1935 film The 39 Steps, an early example of the concept, in which the MacGuffin is some otherwise incidental military sequence. He explained the term in a 1939 lecture at Columbia University. It might be a Scottish name, taken from a story about two men on a train. One man says, "What's that package up there in the baggage rack?" And the other answers, "Oh, that's a MacGuffin." The first one asks, "What's a MacGuffin?" "Well," the other man says, "it's an apparatus for trapping lions in the Scottish Highlands." The first man says, "But there are no lions in the Scottish..." This is like an Araki author's note. "But there are no lions in the Scottish Highlands." And the other one answers, "Well then, that's no MacGuffin." So you see that a MacGuffin is actually nothing at all.
Why is your Alfred Hitchcock the...
Winston Churchill?
Yeah, the caricature of, like, Richard Nixon's head from Futurama.
Because I'm not good at voices.
I'm Alfred Hitchcock.
I am not a crook.
I don't like MacGuffins.
Hitchcock also said, the MacGuffin is the thing that the spies are after, but the audience doesn't care.
Yeah.
George Lucas, on the other hand, said, the audience should care about it almost as much as the dueling heroes and villains on screen, describing R2-D2 as the MacGuffin of the original Star Wars film. I'm just gonna Google for my own this is the podcast now, by the way. Just gonna Google for my own edification Jar Jar Binks MacGuffin and see what I turn up.
What was Jar Jar Binks MacGuffin? Was it the knowledge that the droids are coming to destroy the Gungan state empire? Was it an empire? The Gungans?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What were you saying?
The Gungan state, was it an empire?
It was a city.
And that was it?
Gungan City. I guess it was a city-state like Athens. Or the Vatican.
The Vatican?
Yeah.
With Big
Pope
Boy...
Nass.
Yeah, with Boss Nass at the very top being like... Jesus! And that was it?
Have you heard the good news, sir?
And that's it. Oh, Brian Blessed, you sweet innocent... I was about to say
Ahmed
toy
Best.
truck, but... You sweet innocent toy truck.
So,
Anyway, we open
the
with
very
that.
start of this episode opens with Jolene looking around and realizing she's beaten up the hated guard Westwood. But then all the other prisoners have stopped fighting too. They're lying on the ground, bloated in their own liquids.
And she's like, why is everyone bloated in their own liquids?
In fact, one guy with purple glasses on looms up behind her threateningly, then immediately collapses in his own pile of bloat.
And she's like,
What?
that's strange.
What happened here?
This man is abnormally bloated.
Yes, he should go see a doctor.
But wait, there are no doctors here.
In the punishment ward.
Then how are they bloated?
Two non-bloated dudes walk up to them. It is the purple besuited old man.
With red necklace bone things.
Yep. And the guy kind of dressed like a gladiator.
So he's got like a centurion hat?
Or one of those pickelhaubes.
Pickle
One of those World War I German pointy helmets.
Yeah. And he's just holding his hand near his sash belt.
He's like, I've got a small tummy ache. He's holding his tummy.
I don't want to feel abnormally bloated.
And they are both radiating ominous katakana. They approach, and then the taller one, the pointed helmet guy, immediately recedes into the shadows and is never seen again.
Jolene's like, what the fuck's with this guy?
But the old man approaches and is like...
In the greatest line of dialogue.
So he walks forward and he's kind of leaving after images because there's something up with this guy's movement. More on that later.
He's doing something weird.
He's walking in a strange way.
He's walking very well.
And he walks up and he starts like bending his hand all the way back.
Oh, so much hypertension.
Speak on that.
Isn't hypertension where you can do like really flexible things?
I couldn't tell you.
Like you can bend your wrist all the way
Which
back.
he is doing.
Or you can like bend your like pinky all the way back and stuff like that.
Like a contortionist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can just do that, but it just comes.
He could just be breaking his own wrist.
And reassembling the bones inside.
Well, lest we remember. That's right.
Lest we remember.
Lest we remember.
Okay, yep.
And then I forgot what I'm going to say. He does need a particularly flexible wrist to do the things he does in this episode.
Does he?
To cram a lamb it down people's throats
No,
and
you're
hit their
right,
vertebrae.
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, you've got such a versatile stand with its thread powers, and it's so impossible to predict its moves. And even now, despite the damage to your body, I can sense you've leveled up since the last battle. Anyway, Whitesnake sent me and 4 stand users, of which I am one, to this place. I thought it was too many, but now that I can see that you're hardcore,
I do enjoy...
and he's doing big stretchies.
Yeah, I do enjoy that he really just lets loose with being like, Pale Snake just brought us down here.
Whitesnake.
Whitesnake just brought us down here, there's 4 of us. I thought we need more. And Jolene's like, okay.
And then he's like,
Never asked.
I am Kenzo, 78 years old. The secret to my longevity is 8.5 hours sleep a day.
Oh yeah, that's pretty normal.
And my daily urine therapy.
Say fucking what?
Just 1 cup every morning.
Get the fuck what?
The important thing is to keep the habit going.
What?
Have you heard of urine therapy?
Nope. No, I have not. Do not want it.
And that's just the way this guy introduces himself.
So this dude drinks his own piss every day.
Every day. 1 cup.
1 whole
He's
cup.
clearly no hobbit, or he'd be saying, but what about 2nd cup of urine?
I just love he's like, the hardest part is just keeping the habit up. I'm like,
Yeah.
What?
Because it's repellent.
I just love that later, like, when Anasui shows up and all that, he's just like, yeah, that dude's cooked.
He drinks his own piss.
He's an old man who drinks his own piss.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked.
That's just like, it's such an incidental line of dialogue. He just shows up, like, bringing the perspective from the male wing of the prison. Oh, he's just this fucked up old man.
Like, he's a weirdo, okay? Just don't listen to him. Urine therapy? No, he just drinks his own piss. I don't get it.
Jolene's response is, this is an iconic moment from the manga where she says, if you want to fight, I won't back down. And then she works her way through various nations' ways of flipping someone off.
So there's American, which is just 2 middle fingers.
Yep. French, which is you kind of this is potentially bad audio. But she puts one hand under her chin and then another cocked down under her chest,
As if to look down on you from afar.
Japanese style. I know this one. You pull down your eye with your index finger.
And you put your other hand
That
under
might
your
just
chin?
be her being a bit extra though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then finally, Italian, specifically Naples style, which again is hand under the eye. That's probably an evil eye sort of thing.
Yeah. And then the other hand is like a demon claw?
I just love so much, like, we're getting so specific to Naples.
Very specifically Naples.
Yeah. Which, of course, is where Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 Vento Oreo began.
Oh, how interesting
It
that
is.
Araki would reference Naples after writing an entire part.
You
near
might remember,
Naples.
Nick, long ago when we were finishing part 5, I told you that there's a point in Stone Ocean where it would make absolute sense for Giorno to appear, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I watched that part yesterday and I was like, why isn't he here? Why isn't he at least in the background of a shot?
Yeah. Okay. Curious.
I miss Giorno.
No, you miss the wild antics of Giorno. Giorno himself is nothing.
Like, Giorno would be able to make mincemeat of this little freak. He'd be like, I turned your piss into venomous cockroaches.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't drink the cockroaches.
Too late.
Yeah, he'd just be like, but how... Actually, no, he'd probably have a mental breakdown that he can't drink his
Yeah,
own
then he'd
piss
immediately
anymore.
die of old age, like the end from Metal Gear Solid.
Exactly.
Yeah, if Jolene just saved her game, then waited a week, she'd win this fight.
So ridiculous.
And that's the opening.
That's it.
We cut back to Kenzo. Oh, we should talk about Kenzo's name briefly, as we have jumped ahead and done our Jojo Vele commentaries, etc.
So Kenzo sounds like Kentaro, but it can't be Kentaro, even though he has a very similar sort of...
I mean, it sounds like it in that it has the same first syllable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like if they had nicknames...
Astute observation, Nicholas.
Yeah, if they had nicknames, they'd both
If
be
they had
Ken.
Australian nicknames, they'd both be Kenzo.
Hey, mate, it's a bloody fucking shui, mate.
Yep. Kenzo is a French luxury fashion house founded in 1970 by Japanese designer Kenzo Takada.
Oh, wait, why is it Ken Izo?
It's not.
Oh, never mind, it's not. I take it back.
Nick saw a stylized logo and misread it.
Hey, look, we've all been there, okay?
Kenzo Takada was born in Japan and moved to Paris in 1964 to start his fashion career. He became known for using Asian and Japanese influenced style with the construction of European fashion. He started a jungle Jap boutique located at Galerie Vivienne and decorated in jungle-inspired clothing. Jungle Jap.
Jungle Jap.
That was the first level of Donkey Kong 64, if I remember correctly.
I was literally about to be like, is that like a DK64 like bongo drum game?
The band became Kenzo after a fashion show in New York 1976, as the American market considered jungle Jap too pejorative.
What does that say?
I mean, I guess as a Japanese person, it's his prerogative, but...
At the same time,
Later years, 1999 to 2003, designed women and men's lines respectively with Gilles Rosier and Roy Kresberg.
Ooh, Kresberg. I love his movies. Kresberg. Like
You see, I was using the MacGuffin in my fashion lines, and I thought that, what if there was a bit of the clothing that would help you win?
What?
I'm Hirohiko Araki, and this is my manga, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Battle Tendency, where there's a bit of the clothing that helps you win most of the time.
Anyway, get back to Kresberg and his film Videodrome.
Okay, some
Oh no, here
roles
we go.
in popular culture of
right.
Kenzo clothing.
Here we go. Where's the malfaction?
The character Kenzo Harper in the BBC sitcom My Family is named after the fashion brand. There's a large rotating cast of that show over the season. If I remember correctly, Kenzo was a weird lodger who lived with them for a while.
Okay.
Tall and possibly Welsh, maybe. You watch that show, My Family?
No.
It's got, what's his name?
John
Zoe
Cleese.
Wanamaker is the mother of the family. She voiced the Sia in Fable 2 and 3.
Nope, I got nothing.
The character's name is Ben Harper. Who's he played by? Someone you might know. The guy who played the wedding planner / evil wizard in season 2 of Gallivant.
Nope, I got nothing.
Robert Lindsay.
Ooh, maybe I
Robert
do
Lindsay
know.
Stevenson, sorry.
Maybe I do know him. I don't think I do, but maybe I do.
You might have seen him in Hornblower.
Nope.
We are really off the reservation today.
Look, it's a tough time here in the JoJo's office. We have to talk about
True,
feng
there's
shui.
more JoJo than we've had access to for a while, and we are spoilt by our riches. Anyway, he's a guy.
Yeah.
Jericho? You ever watched Jericho?
Nope.
Okay.
This is like trying to explain to a friend. It's like, so what is JoJo's about? And you're like, no. You'll recognize there's this guy and he does this thing. No, I don't know that. Okay, but what about this season? I don't know what that is. I got to keep going.
In 2012, designers Humberto Leon and Carol Lim unveiled a knitted sweater with a tiger graphic on it for the fall collection. Leon wanted to make it a sweatshirt version of the sweater for him to wear. Despite initial resistance from Kenzo's design team, the tiger sweatshirts became extremely popular.
Ooh.
Since 2011, the tiger shirt and clothing designed by Leon and Lim has been worn by celebrities including Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, Beyonce, Zooey Deschanel, Swizz Beatz,
Oh my god, what?
Selena Gomez,
Oh my god!
Spike Jonze,
What?
Joan Smalls,
What?
Lord,
Get out of here.
Northern Sound,
Oh my god!
and Rihanna. Citation needed.
Oh, okay, alright.
Collaborated with David Lynch,
What? Hang on,
who
when?
mixed the soundtrack for a fashion show and provided a large sculpture.
Was the soundtrack just...
I really like that mellowed Twin Peaks theme. You know, it's like that synthy vibe, and then like some occasional
piano?
occasional bass, I was gonna say.
Oh. Which one is that? I just remember the piano.
It's like the opening credits.
Occasional bass. I thought that was piano.
I think it's bass. Is this good audio?
So this Jojo's podcast, we've talked about Feng Shui, and now we're talking about Twin Peaks.
Okay, anything controversial about this fashion brand?
I hope so. Wait, no, I don't. Wait, I take it. No, I'll take it. Yeah, I hope there is. I hope something bad has happened in the past. Sure, why not? It's only made us stronger. Collaborate with any
this is from the
Nazis?
page of Kenzo Takada.
Does he look cool, at least?
He does. He looks like Emmett Selk from Final Fantasy XIV.
He also looks like a politician.
Subheading on Wikipedia page, retirement from and subsequent activity in fashion industry. Retired in 1999 to pursue a career in art, still kept making clothing, tableware, home objects. Takada was made a Knight of the Legion of Honor in June 2016.
That can't be a real thing.
The Legion of Honor?
The Legion of
superheroes? The highest French order of merit, both military and civil, established by Napoleon Bonaparte.
What? Okay.
Good for him.
I guess. It's a strange thing as a fashion designer to be put into.
He died from COVID-19.
No!
He was 81 years old.
Okay, that's an okay age.
Well, Kenzo Takada, you seem to have survived our gauntlet of scrutiny, but we've got our eye on you.
You dead son of a
You
bitch.
fucking Asian.
This is getting edited out so hard.
That's a wizard from Final Fantasy XIV, to be clear. I wasn't calling him something bad.
Most of our derogatory terms seem to stem from or around Final Fantasy XIV these days. So that's who we're fighting. Kenzo.
Kenzo, yes.
Kenzo.
In the,
Who-
fifth camera shot of the episode.
Who
36 minutes in.
Who in JoJo's drinks his own piss.
Daily.
But outside JoJo's died from COVID-19.
That we know of.
Ooh.
I will start by telling you the conclusion.
Says Kenzo.
These prisoners drowned to death. That sounds like how, so famously we talk on my now...
We got through 2 lines of dialogue. We're already distracted.
No, this is important.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
On my now defunct other podcast, Mystery Twins Detective Agency,
Yep.
we would talk about the accusation parlor a lot. You know,
Okay.
the part of the murder mystery where they gather all the suspects into one room and then reveal what happened.
Yep.
You know, your Poirot's, your Sherlock Holmes.
Your Moida on the Orient Express.
Deaths in Paradise.
Yeah, you not Stranger Things, Knives Out.
Knives Out. The
Yeah.
Glass Onion. Not in cinemas anymore, but now on Netflix.
Ah, good.
It was good. I would recommend that movie. But yes.
Dare you?
So,
Yes.
it's like that's how you would start one of those scenes, right?
I've seen
I'll
a man
start
is
by
dead.
telling you the conclusion. He drowned to death in a dry room. But how did that happen? You see, you, Mrs. McCubbins, you were the cleaner that day and you found the puddle. But did you put it there?
No, because it was your piss. You were drinking it.
Yes, you see, no one killed him. He drank his own piss and died from kidney poisoning.
No, you're the one drinking your own piss, detective.
Quite right. See ya.
Who put him in charge?
I'm Benoit Blanc, piss detective.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I recommend the Knives Out series of movies.
They are pretty good. I haven't seen the second one, but I'd say it's pretty good.
I would recommend it, Nick. I think you would enjoy it.
I think I'd enjoy
I
it.
also think anyone using Twitter in 2022 would get a kick out of particular subplots.
Interesting. I see. So pissed
So
drinker.
yeah, these guys
yeah.
all drowned them. I drowned them and their bodies are bloated. And then he's like, it seems I won't be facing you just yet, he says after realizing something. Then he nudges a bloated body next to him.
And who should pop out of the bloated body?
Well, that's not quite what happens.
Oh.
There is like a sudden weird flurry of movement, but I think what happens is currently Foo Fighters is leaping in from above.
Oh.
Not concealed perfectly under in a two-dimensional space under a bloated body.
I thought
think,
Foo Fighters
but
would
it's
be
not
inside,
entirely clear.
Yeah.
But she is in the air, somersaulting in place, and fires a volley of shots at him that he effortlessly dodges because the body he nudges shoots up and blocks them all.
A very lucky body.
He knew I was sneaking up on him from the bloated bodies. Ugh. But I'm Foo Fighters and I'm in a cool pose. I've got my finger guns.
And Jolene's in the back being like, what the
Foo
fuck?
Fighters? What are you doing here?
And she's like, I arrived in a nick of time.
How did you get in here? And she says, looks like you're in some deep shit. I'll fill up your wounds in a second. I'm fighting now. And then there is more menace than either of the two villains who showed up in this episode got. More red menacing katakana as Anasui slowly walks up the stairs on the other side of the room. Oh, and Jolene's like, who's that again? Oh yeah, he was in the room with Emporio that time.
But what's his name? That beautiful rich man's name.
I'll take care of this geezer, says Foo Fighters.
And Jolene's like, what? What's she doing?
I just think of that episode of The Simpsons where it's like a Kent Brockman bit where it's like, following up our recent story, geezers in freezers, our news station would like to apologise for overuse of the term geezer. Anyway, get a load of this geezer.
Beautiful.
He holds out his hand flat and a little like compass that looks like the dragon from Dragon Ball Z is there.
The one that you summon from the Dragon Balls?
The titular dragon.
Nice.
This
It's like-
one has no balls. It's got kind of a disc.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
Wow.
Am I wrong, Nick?
Wow, way to bring the dragon down a notch, Liam. So, yeah, he's like on this weird
It's important to get your dragons spayed and neutered, otherwise they reproduce out of control and you get feral dragons killing local wildlife.
There used to be 7 Dragon Balls, then there's 9, now there's 11. It gets too much, you know? I think. Maybe there's still only 7.
Well, if we really want to get into the deep weeds of the Dragon Ball lore, you
Which
see,
I do.
there are the 7 red star Dragon Balls on Earth, which are around the size of, say, a baseball.
It's the size of Krillin.
Then, following the events of the Saiyan saga, when several of Goku's allies, colloquially known, at least in the dub, as the Z Fighters,
Yep.
including Piccolo, former enemy, now ally,
Yep.
technically Piccolo Jr.,
Oh,
died.
because he rebirthed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Die. And because of Piccolo's life link to the god of Earth Kami, also a Namekian,
Yep, I'm with you.
because they kind of, in the Dragon Ball to Z transition, replaced all of the mythology stuff with aliens.
Yep.
All the Dragon Balls disappeared because they made them. So they had to go to planet Namek to get the Namekian Dragon Balls to use the Namekian dragon to bring people back to life.
Right.
So there were 14 Dragon Balls.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then if we get into the now largely disregarded spin-off Dragon Ball GT, or Grand Tour.
Where Goku becomes an F1 racer.
Yeah.
Yep.
There were the Black Star Dragon Balls, which were also on Earth for some reason. And if you use them, the planet will be destroyed in a year, and also they scatter over the universe instead of the planet.
Ah, of course.
Anyway, that's basically everything I know about Dragon Balls.
But what about Broly?
I don't really know.
Well, if I remember
Broly.
right, a lot of people didn't like Broly, and then they sort of came around to him in the new version of Broly. But I don't know why. I think he was just a dick.
At Milk Juice with your information on Broly.
I beg you, please, send me Broly information.
Do not at Jojo's podcast.
You do realize you're going to get a billion things being
Yeah.
like,
You see, the thing about Broly is, as compared to Goku's other recurring nemesis, Cell, Frieza, and, I don't know, Majin Buu.
yeah. What about the androids?
The androids. Android 18 can get it.
Oh, man.
Or so Krillin believes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fully functional.
He holds this little dragon radar, not the same dragon radar from Dragon Ball,
No.
but his own little dragon compass,
Yep.
in his hand. And he says, and I quote, Southeast, 127 degrees, 30 minutes and 20 seconds. And Foo Fighters is walking. And he's watching Foo Fighters and he says, their sweat Will they open their mouth? Do I just want to drink their sweat?
Do I want a piece of that non-piss fluid?
Foo Fighters fires a volley of shots at him, and once again they all swim effortlessly past his face.
And Foo Fighters is like, how the fuck did he dodge those bullets?
Do you want to drown? And Foo Fighters is like, I love drowning. I'm plankton.
So he immediately jumps in on Foo Fighters.
Cram-a-lams his hand in her throat. Looks great.
And then water just bloops out.
And then he exposits. And you know, based on the amount of exposition, how dangerous something is. And this man, based on the amount of exposition he's had, must be our most dangerous foe to date. This episode is mostly exposition.
It is like so much information. I was at the end of the episode, I was like, that is the most elaborate shit.
In all anime, there is people standing around while their powers are explained. But in this episode, like, he really should get out a folding chair and be like, I'm just going to sit here until you're done speculating about feng shui. You see, the time it takes for humans to drown in water is between 5 to 7 minutes for those who have been trained. But that's only if there's air left in the lungs. But if the air is sucked out from both lungs, humans drown to death instantly with a mere few drops of water.
Probably because there's no air in the lungs.
I directly struck your fourth cervical vertebrae by going through your throat. It contains nerves connected to your kidneys. It produces bodily fluids that lubricate the respiratory system.
Yep.
So by overstimulating those,
Yep.
I can drown you instantly.
What?
And Foo Fighters is depicted being like, I can't breathe in the Hokusai wave. Right?
That is literally what it is. Because Foo Fighters is It's because Foo Fighters is inside Atro.
She's like, I am restricted by the living conditions of this dead body that I'm in.
Yeah. Which is yet to rigor mortis or anything.
Yeah, well, it's full of life-giving plankton.
That's true. Everyone loves a good plankton.
She's drowning, but, like, there's a few good things in this episode. Foo Fighters using the fact that she's not a human body to survive what would otherwise be lethal assaults. Guy runs at Jolene, like, I killed that person, now time to deal with you. But then this little dragon compass...
Shows up.
Yep, as Foo Fighters fires off another few volleys because she has taken advantage of the fact that she is not a living human to puncture her own throat with her finger to let out the excess water.
And this Kenzo is just like, what?
Again, effortlessly reorients himself and dodges these bullets, but in his counterattack, he jumps and kicks at Foo Fighters, who uses the fact that she's not human to
Like,
squeeze through the iron bars behind her in a way a person shouldn't be able to.
yeah, because she's all plankton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you? And she's like, I'm Foo Fighters. Then Anasui is next to Jolene being like, don't stand up, just watch.
What is this voice?
That's Anasui being a big creeper.
Hey, Jolene, I'm here. I love you.
Let's watch the fight. The problem here isn't what drowned those prisoners, but how he dodged every bullet. Bet you didn't think about that, did you?
And Jolene's like, who the fuck are you?
You're Anasui, right? And then he says, I love you.
And then we get a great, typical, like, comedy anime bit.
Quote, I love you, I couldn't wait to be here with you. Then a reverse shot to her, just like unresponsive on a purple dotted background. Then the background turns pink and she like cocks her head. It's like, what?
You say what? Huh?
And the scene goes on. And that's going to be their dynamic for pretty much the rest of the story.
Okay, alright. Just like, I love you, Jolene.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
You're the greatest creature I've ever seen. Tell me, how do you be?
Well, we know Jolene loves a bad boy from her whole deal getting in prison.
Oh yeah, and Anasui is a neutral being.
Is he?
With literally nothing
He's
to his
a
name.
multiple murderer.
Oh yeah, I guess, but that's not
He
bad
loves
boy,
taking
that's
things
just
apart.
like you, Jolene.
I want to deconstruct our love.
I want to deconstruct our problems and reform our
The
relationship.
fucking problem with like living with Anasui is whenever he gives you a meal, it's always like, this is a deconstructed hamburger. It's just like a pile of salad.
And you're like, where's the meat? Oh, I killed it. What do you mean you killed the meat? I deconstructed it into its atomic structure.
Now it's just a mist. Here, inhale the burger, Jolene.
Anasui, I don't like where this is going. You don't have to like it.
It's fucking raw! Yeah, I deconstructed the heat.
Here, feel my hand. It's real warm now.
Anasui getting kicked off Kitchen Nightmares or whatever because he can't just fucking make a normal meal for once.
As he leaves, he deconstructs Gordon Ramsay into his constituent components. Shit, I'd watch that.
I wouldn't.
Just every episode is a new person gets deconstructed.
Anasui says the iconic line, That old man has been incarcerated here for 40 years. He's an idiot who drinks his own piss.
Iconic.
I thought I hadn't seen him in the mail wing for a while. Who would have guessed he was here? Now he's got a stand. And then we exposit. It was 1969, I believe.
Oh god, here we go.
Basically, this guy is like a mix of
Cult leader.
No, I'm pulling specific cult leaders.
Oh, Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, No, not Marilyn Manson. You fucking
Charles
Manson.
Yep.
And like Jonestown.
Yeah.
So like he was an influential Hollywood cult leader, and also
Tried to get everyone to kill themselves.
yeah,
So the idea is that he got 34 people into a house. And
drugged them and set the house on fire.
But unfortunate for him, he got trapped in the house.
Or fortunate for him, he survived because
lived.
he was in the one spot where rubble
fire.
collapsed on him, protecting him from the flames and smoke.
Doesn't explain why he drinks his own piss, but...
Well, that's to keep him alive. The secret to his longevity. His sentence is 280 years, only 240-ish to go.
Thankfully, he'll live those out.
Thanks to sweet, sweet piss.
That's sweet urine
Piss.
therapy.
It's what I'm drinking. Today's Jojo World is sponsored by piss.
I'm... I don't know. I don't know if I want to say what I'm drinking.
What's the podcast ad read for urine therapy? Are you stressed? Do you feel like the 7 signs of aging are impinging on your ability to enjoy yourself?
Are you
Well,
struggling to get 8.5 hours sleep every night?
with piss, you'll be out like a light every night, and those stress lines will just melt away. Why, they sent us a free sample of piss to use in the podcast, and since I started using it, why, I haven't been able to drink anything else. Use coupon code JoJo's Pisscast.
Just the concept of like 1 sip and you won't want anything else ever again. Ever. Like...
The pre-proportioned packs once a day.
Hello Fresh. Let's go. The Hello Fresh
And there's
code.
nothing fresher than your own piss.
If you go onto hellofresh.com right now with the code PISS22, you'll get a free year's worth of piss. We don't really ask where it came from. We don't even know if it's human. But what we do know is
No,
that it's
Nick,
great.
they've got a human-only guarantee. For and by. Not like other piss merchants that might give you orangutan or...
Arachnid.
Yeah. We're certified by the United States Florida Piss Council to have no fluoride in our piss.
Are you sick and tired of low-grade piss coming to your door every week? Why don't you try Jojo certified piss?
Now, a serious moment.
Yeah.
The people of Flint, Michigan have had lead in their
Oh
piss
god.
since 2010.
Jesus Christ. Fucking yikes. Topical and disgusting. The perfect combination of Joe. Oh. That has to already exist. It has to.
I don't want to think about it.
Just someone somewhere's like, hey guys, I'm starting a subscription service.
So, okay, I'm just scrolling through that whole bit we exposited about
Yeah.
before we got sidetracked. But there's this line of dialogue that sent Nick into hysterics when we were watching.
Oh yes!
So he's explaining how the guy survived the fire because he was under the rubble, barely alive when he was rescued. There's no doubt he intended to die. What am I trying to say?
And I literally said, what are you trying to say?
And Anasui says, what am I trying to say? Who knows? I can't say for myself. Either way, Kenzo survived.
I think that's what he's trying to get at, is just that, yeah, he was a guy.
Finally, a successor to Why Am I Doing This from part 2 as just the most pointless line of dialogue.
Why am I talking?
I don't know.
Impossible to say. I think that's what I'm trying to get
Even
at.
I couldn't tell you.
Just like why? Oh, fuck.
Kenzo and Foo Fighters talk about how they can see each other's strongest and weakest points because of Survivor, which is still juicing them up.
But at this point, Kenzo's like, so you're not human because there's something else in your veins.
But I can still kill you like a human.
Yeah.
So I will.
You're trapped in that body, just like any other human.
He brings out his dragon compass and is like, does the directions again. Mm-hmm. And they all question what his stand and his weird footwork could mean as he moves into a particular position for a particular approach. Ooh. And he's like, let's see the direction of your dragon. And then Foo Fighters notices floating behind her is like another bigger version of that dragon compass.
And I think
And it's got a little orb around it.
half this episode is Jolie being like, Foo Fighters, look the fuck out!
Yeah, Foo Fighters immediately fires like 6 shots into the dragon and is like, hey, don't do that. I'm neutral.
In a very chill voice.
Yeah. It's useless, so stop attacking me. And then she shoots it again and is like, hey, I said stop that.
Look, I'm telling you, there's no point, alright? I'm just chilling here.
I'm neutral. Your attacks will only pass through me. And he's like, yeah, I like this dragon. It's got a good attitude. It's like,
he has a
I
good
fucking
vibe.
hate my stand user. He's a loser, but I am neutral.
So, I'm not going to tell you everything.
Watch out. The geezer is attacking you from behind.
He's the guy
They
you
use the
look out
phrase,
for.
I was hearing the words Gigi in Japanese,
Ah.
which is like old man or geezer. It's how Jotaro referred to Joseph in part 3.
I remember very lovingly, he's like, old man, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
In that beautiful tone of voice.
And they speculate that the dragon is somehow allowing Kenzo to dodge Foo Fighters' bullets. He runs and like they do like real body punches, which is a rarity in JoJo these days.
Yep.
And he's in the air palming her punches. And then he uses them to spring double jump, essentially, into the orb surrounding the dragon. His arm comes off and goes into its mouth. And then he's like, I've entered the dragon, starring Bruce Lee.
I knew it. I knew that was the reference. You mocked me.
His
There
arm
it is.
comes off and leaves like a swirly, delicious void where it used to be.
But what could it mean?
And then his arm flies around and hits Foo Fighters in the back of the head.
Well, not quite the back there, because I think Foo Fighters blocks.
Yeah, she blocks it, but still like takes a superficial blow.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the real intent. The arm goes back onto his body. But there was a blood splatter from that. And then like serious Rube Goldberg stuff happens because the blood attracts rats, which run up the wall, including the switchboard that control the doors of all the cells. And there was the bloated glasses guy from earlier was lying in a doorway. And when the pressure of the door crushing him hit him, his glasses flew off and pierced Foo Fighters' face.
Cause and effect. The motion of energy.
Fate.
Feng
Shui.
Or as we call it,
Feng Shui.
Ugh.
We almost landed that.
We got there, but not in the way that I expected.
That hurts her, but she deals with it.
Yeah, she's fine. She's
There's
all good.
another good little sequence of them fighting each other, like Foo Fighters being impressively acrobatic, doing cool flips, but nothing of consequence happens.
And the whole time that this is happening, everyone's giving some more exposition about
Yeah.
other things.
Well, Anasui's like, I understand. He's using Feng Shui.
Oh,
That's
God.
the logical deduction here.
Yeah, he's like, there's energy that passes through the mountains and the
Yeah.
trees.
His footsteps point to cardinal directions to indicate it, and he approaches from particular directions to strengthen his attacks and his defenses.
So it's all about luck, basically. Where it's like, if he
Or
goes...
fortune.
Yeah, if he goes that way, then it's going to work in his favor no matter what.
Yeah, we get a quick exposition around the history of Feng Shui.
It's a lot to take in.
Yep. Not only that, but Feng Shui's philosophy is even applied to human anatomy. There's such a thing as assassination Feng Shui.
Oh my god.
To think he's mastered assassination Feng Shui while in prison.
All while drinking his own piss every day.
Why, that's what unlocked the 10% of his brain that made him limitless enough to learn it.
Bradley Cooper comes down from, like, the guards' quarters like, hey, is this what those pills are made out of?
And they're like, FF, don't let him touch the dragon. It's your assassination Feng Shui weak point, which is behind your ear.
Ah. That comes up once.
Yeah,
Literally comes up once for the
for
whole...
now.
Oh.
So there's a quick exchange which I like, which doesn't directly tie into the Feng Shui stuff, but it is like still establishing this guy as a credible threat. Where what was it? He does an attack that is also a defense. What was it?
It's like when he's being defensive, his stance is also an attack. So, like, when he's blocking, it's also an attack. or
Yeah,
something.
because he's approaching from the direction that protects him but makes her vulnerable.
Yeah.
He can attack but be defended at the same time.
Yeah. It's like he's got such fortune. You know? He's been
Such
so... been
my
so bold.
fortune is yours from the taking. You'll have to find it first.
In
I left
one-
everything. No, don't peep me. You know where I'm going.
Oh, I know where you're
the
going with
listeners
this.
know where I'm going. In one piss.
But we know it's not one because he drinks it every day. Oh. It would have to be daily piss, Liam. Daily piss.
So she goes to do a counter chop, but can't reach because he struck her throat. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Anasui goes, his defensive stance is also an attack. He must be employing the principles of Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
And your mouth is open, time to kill you. But then she bites his hand. which is also a defense and an attack. How
Ah.
ironic.
It goes both ways, motherfucker.
And I'm surprised no one thought to do that earlier when he put his whole ass hand in their mouth. I guess he's fast.
Yeah, and Foo Fighters now knows that it's coming. Yeah.
But as they are disentangling from each other, Foo Fighters' own hand overlaps with the Dragon Zone.
The Dragon Zone.
Yep. And comes out and becomes the instrument of her own undoing. Nick, do you remember what the complex chain of events here was?
No.
Okay.
There was there was so much going on in this episode.
The dragon is like, I'm neutral, but if I were you, I'd try and reduce the damage you're about to take to a minimum. The hand doesn't really come into it much, because what happens is
So I remember
some flies buzzing over one of the nearby bodies.
Yeah, and then they go up to the ceiling.
Yep, drawn to the fresh air of the skylight, I suppose.
And then a bird comes down to eat the flies.
Yep. Perhaps she'll die.
And then gets caught up in the fan that's slightly dislodged from the meteors.
Yep. And
remember them.
they think that the fan is maybe going to fall on Foo Fighters, but no, part of the support structure falls off. And because of, I guess, the
Raw momentum
of the fan,
it just falls down and
spins
starts
around the
spinning.
room, and the dragon is like, it's not the fan, it's the boomerang. And this piece of metal, like, shears off the top fifth of Foo Fighters' head. Like a old-timey, shitty top hat that a hobo would wear.
On, what's that street name? The street where Jojo fought Speedwagon.
Oh, Ogre Street.
Yeah, on Ogre Street, where he might spin it and then it would fly around a bit, intimidatingly.
Yeah, Speedwagon inherited that hat from a guy who accidentally put it on inside out, and that happened to him.
Yeah, it's like a Mission Impossible hat. You know that bit from Mission Impossible? Where the dude's like got an earpiece and then he's like, you're already dead, and then the earpiece penetrates into the brain.
I don't.
Oh, okay, alright, never mind.
But it's also like an odd job hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
Top of Foo Fighters' head, cut off. Is she dead? To be continued.
What? And you and I both went, yeah, but she's plankton.
Yeah.
So she's probably fine.
She's probably fine. But what if she's not?
Oh my god, she's never taken such a huge blow before in plankton form.
Hasn't she?
I don't know, I can't remember. She's taken some gunshot wounds, I think.
Yeah, and she got beat up by Jolene.
That's true. That is true.
So, Nick.
Yes.
What are our highlights and lowlights in this episode?
My highlight, and this may shock you, is the absolute turnaround from, yes, it's me, Kenzo. I have a long life from 8.5 hours of sleep every day. And I drink my own piss every day. Have you heard of urine therapy? Just the turnaround of like,
That's
okay.
so Jojo.
It's so fucking Jojo. Like, there's so much in this episode that just works off, I drink my own piss, I'm gonna kill you. Like, oh, I hate that he drinks his own piss. That makes him a real credible threat. Like, you know, if he does that to himself. There's a scene in something starring, like, there might be like Burn Notice or something, where Bruce Campbell is being interrogated by someone as like a one-off thing. And they're discussing interrogation of like, if they're like in interrogation, it's about asking questions, right? It's about making them think, hey, how crazy is this guy? And literally like a dude like cuts open a bit of his hand and he's like, the question is, if he's willing to do that to himself, what's he going to do to me? If he's willing to drink his own piss, what the hell is he going to make me? Yeah. What's he going to drink in my mouth? Like, what's it?
And my highlight is the bit where Foo Fighters squeezes through the bars. Because it's like, oh yeah, they're not human.
Where they're just like, bleh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. My low light is the boomerang.
Just not... It's not really related to the arm at all, is it?
Well, it's more like all the things that happened before that. If the fan fell, I'd be like, okay, fan's falling. And then it could be a to be continued. It's like, oh, she should get out in time. Or like it hits her and she's like under it or something. But this little strut hits the ground and ricochets off the wall multiple times.
It does.
And then it turns into a boomerang. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, even if we're talking about, like, fortune and stuff, that's a bit of a fucking stretch.
I mean, that's the whole thing of it, though, isn't it?
I know, but, like, even the rats, I'm like, oh, okay,
I
I've seen a rat run up a wall. Okay, sure, whatever. But, like, I don't know about this strut turned into a I don't know about that. That boomerang's a bit much. Yeah.
My low light is this guy immediately diffusing the battle royale off screen.
Yeah, I was a bit bummed that we didn't get to see, was it green outfit glasses guy? Was one of the guys I was
Yeah,
really
he was the
amped
one
for?
who loomed over Jolene at the start and then immediately collapsed.
Yeah. Oh, God, I was so keen to see other fights, but alas.
Instead of the fights we're getting.
Yeah, but 'twas not meant to be. Oh.
So, Nick,
Yes.
Jolene is nursing her meteor injuries.
Yep.
And Asui is standing there.
Being like, oh god, I love this broad. She's the best. I get to stand with her. This is amazing.
Foo Fighters has had her can opened.
Okay. Like a tin of sardines.
Yep. Kenzo is Kenzoing it up.
Yep.
And they've got to get that bone.
They gotta get the bone. Dio's bone.
What will happen next time on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Stone Ocean.
Yeah.
Episode 18,
Yep.
entitled Enter the Foo Fighters.
Ooh. Not the dragon.
The Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Okay, so I reckon Foo Fighters
So
will...
Foo Fighters is probably dead, right? With a name like that.
Yeah. So I reckon Foo Fighters will probably just go, oh, you thought that would kill me, and just immediately pop the head back on and just seal it on up. And it'll be like, oh, no, I can't die. And then this guy might just have like...
I promise I'll never die.
Yeah, and then might just go, but Fortune. And then the dragon will be like, hey, old man, you suck.
I hate you. I've always hated you, old man.
Because I'm getting the vibe that the dragon is not on the old man's side either.
Are you getting that vibe from how he keeps saying, I'm neutral?
Yeah. So maybe the dragon will be his downfall?
Ooh, how ironic.
Like, maybe Foo Fighters will be like, hey, dragon, can I just use you as well? And he'll be like, yeah, sure, I
You
don't give a fuck.
violated my draconic neutrality. Time to kill you.
Maybe, I don't know. But I think it's going to be around that idea of, oh, wait, I can just use the dragon myself.
Use the feng shui against him.
Yeah, something like that. That would be cool. Or it's just going to be Foo Fighters will trick him and be like, you thought it was good luck, but it wasn't. It was bad luck. You forgot. I am literal fluid.
Well, Nick, I don't think you'll see how this one resolves itself coming.
Ah, shit.
What's going on with getting that bone?
Well, we still got Pinhead in the back there.
Yep.
So he's going to be the next threat.
And what is the bone for?
I still don't know what the... I mean, it's obviously for attaining heaven. But,
Obviously.
but I don't know what it's actually for. Like,
Get that bone.
from what I've heard and understood from you and mutual friends who have also been like, oh yeah, the whole attaining heaven thing is just weird. Like, I don't know what this attaining heaven thing's all about. Like, it could be immortality, but he already got that, right? Dio already had immortality
Yeah.
from being a vampire. So I'm a bit like, is attaining heaven just starting another cult?
Christian God is real, and Dio wants to go fight him in heaven.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just an ability to let others become a vampire without getting bitten?
That's not how it works. It's a stone mask.
I mean, maybe it's gonna turn his bone into a stone mask.
Okay, but why would Dio need that?
Because then he could wear it and, like, ascend even more to become another
Oh, like a
one
whole
of them.
Cars situation?
Yeah, exactly. Become the ultimate being, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Something like
That's a
that.
reasonable guess.
Yeah, like something like, I'm gonna become the ultimate being again and attain heaven.
I'm going to be even more ultimate. I'm going to do Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, because right now he's just a vampire that can shoot lasers from his eyes.
And stop time.
And stop time.
And freeze people with a single touch.
Yeah, but there could be more. It could be he could fly with wings.
Which he can fly.
No, he can hover. Anyway, so he can do a lot of stuff, but he could do more.
He could always do more.
He could phase
His
out.
limitless ambition is truly his strongest feature.
Exactly.
As per the Pure Evil wiki. Lest we forget his understanding of the legal system.
Terrifying.
Well, Nick, we'll find out next time on JoJo's World as we enter the Foo Fighters. But until then, to be continued.